Everybody, this is Caesar with Small Engine Velocity coming at you with another video. Today's video has to do with the Honda Ruckus, obviously, again. So the variator that I have in my motor right now is about 5 years old, and it's the NCY variator that has the Teflon coating in the inside. And there's a reason why I don't like that variator, but I didn't really have much of a choice at the time. Recently, I purchased a new variator, and here it is. I didn't know that they made a variator, but Dr. Pully Variator. We're gonna go ahead and open this box and see what's inside. And kind of do a little bit of some measuring and metrics to see what's the real difference between the two with the NCY gold insided one versus the Dr. Pully one. I went ahead and took off the variator, and it was a pain in the butt. There was obviously a lot of Loctite on the end of both those nuts, the one on the clutch and the other one on the other side, because I'm going to go ahead and do some clutch maintenance while I'm here. But let's go ahead and get to it. But before that, just remember we're a small bore channel, and I wear rubber gloves because I don't want to get dirt all over my hands. We do motorcycles, scooters, and all sorts of stuff, mods, cool things on bikes, things that we enjoy, group rides. Anyways, if this sounds interesting to you, go ahead and give me a subscribe, and if you click on that bell if you want to see future posts. Anyways, let's go ahead and get to opening this box. So if you look down here, I went ahead and took the variator off that was already on there, including the clutch and everything else, just in case. So let's go ahead and take a look at this new product. So Dr. Pully does make a pulley kit. It says it's for genuine and all that, but they also use GY6s, so there you go. It comes with a drive belt pulley plus the fan, a boss, and the washer. So let's take a look. First thing you'll notice is instructions. There's something in here that looks pretty interesting I wanted to go over. A sticker. I guess this is called the boss. I like to call it the rod thingy that goes in the middle. Brand new washer. A new drive face. Kind of cool looking on the other side, but there's a reason why I'm going to use this drive face and not the old NCY. And the variator. And the variator with the back plate on there, and it also comes with the plastic sliders that come along there. So let's go ahead and put this together. So once we open this up, you'll see the, ooh, look, it comes with styrofoam sliders. Oh, come on. Really? That's nice and all, but my gosh, adds like an hour to the time. So there's that. Then the rear, the drive face, which we'll leave in the bag until we use it. What's interesting in here is that it shows you in the assembly, there's washers that go in between the variator on the spline that space in and out this, so you can kind of pick what works best for you. Generally, the less washers you have in the middle, the further the belt can travel up, but the slower your takeoff is because it's closer. So we'll see how that works. And I like how they use Dr. Pully in the picture here. So here's the old variator. I mean, obviously it's going to be dirty, and so are the sliders. These are 12 gram. But this is the reason why I don't like this particular variator, is because it has a Teflon coating on the inside, but that Teflon coating never stays on. I'm pretty sure after a few months it wears off instantly, and then you got to go buy a new one if you want to continue to use it. But if you compare them side by side, they're about the same heft. This is a little longer right here. It's a little taller of a variator. I guess that's good for heat dispersion. And also, if you notice on this one right here, I don't know if you can see it, the belt has been rubbing on this so long that it's created kind of a concave surface here. So it makes it, the belt, just a little bit more difficult to move all the way to the top. You can actually feel a ridge right here now, versus if you look at this new one, obviously from the reflection there's not a ridge in there at all. But from here, I don't know if you can see in the reflection, there's a little bit of warping going on. So we're going to switch to this one. So what we'll do is clean off the sliders. We'll put the sliders back in where Dr. Pully's facing and readable from the right, or from the right side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The new pressure plate goes on the top, and there you go. It's all set up. While we're at it, let's do a little bit of maintenance on the clutch. Sometimes if you look at the clutch, the pads have glazed, and once they've glazed, they don't really grip as well as when they're rough. So my suggestion is use a light sandpaper on top of it. Don't grind it down or anything, but just use a light sandpaper on it. And this works for Get too, by the way. If you watched any of my videos before, we're talking about the same thing here. Scuff it up, and when you're scuffing it, make sure you scuff it in a direction that it does not rotate in. So don't scratch it this way. Scratch it at an angle, any direction other than the way it turns, to give it that best friction contact. You know, it's been a long time since I've done CVT work. It's mostly motor work now. Wipe off any of that extra dust. There you go, you've lost that shine. And then on the inside of the clutch wheel, which I've already sanded a little bit, take the sandpaper and kind of give it a little bit of an outward push on it and scratch it up. Get rid of that glaze on the inside here too. Give it a little bit better of a contact. I like to do all this stuff that we're doing. I used to do it. I'm going to start doing it again. Every time I open up my CVT as part of maintenance. I actually learned that from Buzzy. Buzzy does this every single time he takes apart his clutch to keep, you know, that maximum performance. Probably best to use a cloth that doesn't have oil on it, but all right, let's put this back together. So we'll go ahead and put the variator back in place. Kind of hand grease off one more time. Put it in. Uh-oh, forgot to put the, I forgot what they called this. The rod thingy in the middle. For me, I'm not going to put any spacers in here because I want it to go travel higher. I'm not really super concerned with my acceleration portion. I can always change it later. And I wanted to go over real quick. The reason why I want to use the same drive face that it came with is because the surfaces or the bevel or the angle between both of these are matched. So when you go up the V or the valley, the distances remain consistent across, so the belt can travel evenly. Go ahead and slide the clutch on, the belt on. Oh man. Put the clutch bell, put the drive face, try to squeeze this in some more. I'll reuse the old nut, or the old washer. I also cleaned out the threads. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier, but there was so much Loctite in here, I had to clean out the threads. That's probably one of the reasons why it was so hard to take off, is because after a while there was so much Loctite in the thread from drying before that it made it super impossible to take out. But now that I have no stuff or any thread locker in there at all, I am going to put some more on. So I'll put a little bit of this Loctite. It may be in a red container, but it is blue Loctite. Do not be confused. Don't think I'm putting red Loctite on here. You do not want to put red Loctite on here. Pull a little bump. Yeah, I said bump. We'll do the same thing in the back. Sorry you can't see it very well on the camera, but work it down. Torque the front down. Make sure I'm not going to pinch the belt as I'm doing it. Always wiggle it to check for play to make sure you got it right. Tag it a little bit more, and there you go. I got a new variator made by Dr. Pully, and we're going to see how good this thing is. Just have to put the rest of this stuff back on. Another thing that I learned with the GY6 is when you're putting these back in and out, do not use a torque wrench. You will just strip out the cheap Chinesium that these motors are made of. And yes, I know I'm using this motor and I'm calling it Chinesium, but I mean, it is what it is, right? I chose to remove Japanesium with Chinesium. So I'm tightening in the back, and there you go. So just do the same process that I did last time that I'm doing now, but just clean everything out and put it back together, do the sanding, do the matching, and put everything back in. I probably could use a new belt because I looked at the edges of it and it looked pretty worn. Usually I recommend when you buy a new variator and drive face that you use a new belt, but I didn't think about that. So, all right, let's zip it up and let's see how she performs. All right, so we switched to the helmet cam and we are doing a test ride with the GY6. Oh, you know what? I might need gas. Well, I won't go very far. I just wanted to test its throttle response. I'm going 40. I can already tell you I can feel a better grab whenever I accelerate. Yeah. I have no idea how fast I'm going. Alright, so I already feel a better acceleration. And I know I said I didn't put those little pieces in the center, the little spacers, but the spacers probably would give me better acceleration, but yeah, that's not what we're going for here. We're going for top speed. So, whenever you put a new variator in, like a new belt, you've got to wait. You got to ride it around for a little while, because you got to break in the belt to the drive face. They got to marry, they got to match. So I still got at least another, what, 50 miles until I get these drive faces, this drive face married together with the other face. With the belt. Oh my god, I don't even know what I'm talking about. Oh look, I'm super awesome at turns. Yeah, I can already feel it. This is gonna be good. This is a good variator. Now, let's see if we can do a little bit more tuning. Let's treat this like a get and just like really tweak the tuning. I'm gonna go ahead and put my old tack on here because the tack on the Vapor sucks. I don't like that little line. I want a number. So I'm gonna put that on there and I'm gonna put it in here somewhere where we can watch the tachometer, like perhaps right here or something. But anyways, yes. I think we've made a successful upgrade. I do like how it was bigger, but it was lighter than the NCY. So that just means that it can just spurt heat quicker. And then I like the polished grooves on the inside, which looks like they could have been polished more, but I don't want to mess with how it came out. So yes, Dr. Pully makes a variator, and that variator is pretty rad. I mean, I don't want to have to keep buying those cheap Chinese ones anymore. And get something that's made a little bit better. Anyways, Dr. Pully is probably Chinese anyway. Alright, so let's go ahead and get back to the regular camera and summarize a little bit. See how you can regain some of your performance by just replacing some of the wearable parts? Because if you really think about it, a variator is a part that is made to wear out. It's going to wear out eventually. That belt is always sliding against that aluminum surface, so it's going to eventually come apart or groove in, just like when you use a Pully Variator on a get. But my final thoughts, this was worthwhile. It needed to be done because that variator is super old, and I'm not very confident in the way that that Teflon coating on the NCY works inside. If this looks like something you would like to try to put on your Ruckus, check out smallenginevelocity.com. I added the part to the store, and see if you get the same type of results I did. Anyways, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see everybody in the next video.